You are now tuned into the sounds of
Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
Tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that is on all the time, anytime. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Nathan Snell.
And as always, thank you, Mr. Anthony Handy, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host, Nathan Snell of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. It has been about a month since you last saw me. This is Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. This is episode 435 of the podcast. Damn, and 435 episodes already. Man. Before we get into that, there's a few things I want to get you guys up front. So I apologize. Last month has been something. Maryland women's basketball, covering them this season has been something for sure. Been enjoying that. Actually getting ready for the selection, which I think is Sunday as I'm recording this. They should have the selection. It's selection Sunday. So it should be sometime receiving like an email and say, hey, do you want to participate with the team? And, then it's seeing where they get to play. Hopefully, crossing fingers, that they are able to host a game for the women. The men as well, they've been doing successfully well this year or so. So Maryland basketball, for the most part, has been extremely successful. It's been fun to watch on both sides. I'm going to get Will Kramer on here. At some point, got to reach out to him, talk a little bit of Maryland men's basketball. This episode, we're talking about WNBA Mock Draft. This is my 3.0 WNBA Mock Draft, 436. We will be talking about Maryland men's basketball. These episodes will come out tomorrow as I'm recording this. And then this upcoming Thursday, I have a very special guest. You already know who he is. He is familiar with the podcast. The last time we did an episode was, I think, the very first WNBA mock draft that I did. And he just actually finished doing the ACC tournament with World Exposure Report. So be tuned in for that episode. And then we're actually getting ready to we're going to be working on our first NFL mock draft of this year. So definitely be tuned in for that. I'm hoping to have those episodes up before the weekend at best. There will be one more. In the video that Thursday will be the WNBA Free Agency draft free agency grades. Because at this point, I think free agency is about pretty much finished with the W, because we're actually getting ready for the tourney, and then we're getting ready for the draft. There will be one more mock draft before the WNBA draft. That'll be after the tournament, and that'll be it for that. And then we'll do a reaction of the grades for the WNBA draft. Same thing with the NFL. And then WNBA season's here. The NFL season will be here. We're trying to get a little baseball in there as well. So definitely tune in for that. But it's been a month, so let's get back and let's get into it. So really quick, WNBA mock draft for this year, for for the 2025 WNBA draft class. I want to get this out the way. I'm a little discouraged to hear that that people are having this argument that this draft class is not going to be impactful the way it should be. Now we know Juju Watkins, Lauren Betts will be coming out in a couple years, but I think that these next couple draft classes, 26, potentially even 27, are all potentials to have produced, are going to bring out some great players. Flage out of LSU. Like I said, Juju, Lauren Betts. You in this draft class, you got Olivia Miles, Sonia Cintron, Anissa Morrow. The thing about a draft, y'all, is now we have 13 teams as of coming into this year. The W is expanding. And sometimes you also have to understand how that team is built. Everyone's projection is different. So, for example, right, Diamond Miller's draft class, arguably, all potentially, I think for the most part have done well. I still think there's some adjustment periods. I think, and again, they're now year 3, year 4. There's still a lot of growth there. But I think to sit like, I'm looking at the Chicago Sky, for example. You had the 3rd overall pick. And yeah, you're building around Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso, but building takes time. When I look at the Washington Mystics, and we'll get into this a little bit, I see the vision. I'm just not agreeing with you're doing it in the midst of expansion, if that makes sense. When I'm looking at a team like Connecticut, they're not rebuilding, but at the same time, it's not necessarily tanking. Some of these teams, you still kind of have to figure out where everything is. So, for example, I mean, let's just go right into it. So, I mean, again, this is my 3.0. Things could change. But I did consider a couple things. They're actually, again, the Las Vegas Aces do not have a first-round pick for this draft. It was forfeited. And a couple trades did happen. So, number 1 overall pick for the Dallas Wings, still have the number 1 overall pick. In Thursday's episode, we'll talk about a little bit more. But for me, I said the Dallas Wings should take Olivia Miles. And the reason why I said Olivia is a couple things. Paige is not going to – I still think Paige more likely will be the number 1 overall pick. But it's more about who fits into their system. Paige is I think, she's a great collegiate athlete. I think she's going to be great when she comes to the WNBA. When I look at Olivia, I think she's had a spectacular season this year at Notre Dame. I mean, I think she gives Dallas everything she needs, especially in a versatile player, especially as they are now looking to not only revamp their roster, but this is a different roster that now doesn't have Satu Sabli, who's now in Phoenix, Connie Brown, who's now in Phoenix, Natasha Howard, no longer in Phoenix. You got Dejanay Carrington in Dallas, Nalissa Smith in Dallas. I think that, to me, like, it's all about who fits how it fits. Now, for me, Dallas has already kind of added the depth, they've added the versatility, and they need to continue to improve the defense. And both players, I think, can do that. But I think Olivia is more efficient, and I think she's more proven with her versatility. Paige, no disrespect, but biggest thing that jumps off to me is the injuries over the last couple of years. Can she stay healthy? when you're playing alongside guards like Hannah Hidalgo, Sonia Citron, that's going to help you prepare when you're going to begin. You're playing alongside a Tierra McCowan, when you're playing alongside Dejanay Carrington, or not, especially Enrique, because the thing is, if you break down Paige and Olivia, for example, right? It's about how you're going to fit alongside Enrique. Enrique is a high volume shooter. We know this. And we can make this argument that she's not an efficient shooter, but shooters shoot. Okay. But that's because has to, I think at times, in her mind, okay, I have to create her own shot. And I think they need a player that can help her create that shot, especially off ball. And I think more on scoring. And I think Olivia does a little more than that than Paige. That's just my opinion. And for me, again, can you imagine that kind of backcourt? We get Tierra McCowan, we get her going. And again, that could be something to watch in Dallas. And I think they have the team. I just think really I'm going to lean towards Olivia as number 1 overall pick, but we've all heard Paige may not want to play for Dallas, but either player could fit. But it's more to me fitting Enrique's style, helping her off ball, helping her get her shot. But more importantly, I think being more versatile, I think being that true floor general, I think Olivia makes a little more sense as number 1 overall pick than for the Dallas Wings, in my opinion. This is my mock draft. We could agree, disagree. Please let me know how you feel about this pick. Now, for Brendan Potts' team, second overall pick, the Seattle Storm, I said they should take Paige Beckers. And the reason why I said Paige, I don't think if that's the case, Paige will go no lower than 2. For me, it's for Paige, I think she may fit Seattle a little bit more. They need some scoring. Yes, as of right now, Jewel Lloyd was traded to the Las Vegas Aces as part of a 3-team trade between the Sparks, Storm, and Aces. Jewel Lloyd is no longer there. Nika Mule is recovering from an injury. You got Lexi Brown in a trade. Outside of that, Jordan Horston's going to be out potentially, and I think Paige would fit them in terms of scoring, but outside of that, her 3-point shooting, all that, I think would fit Seattle's system and Noel's system style of play, and my personal opinion. Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little painful because the Washington Mystics moved on from the last piece of the 2019 WNBA Championship. Washington Mystics traded Ariel Atkins.
Mm-hmm. I can't defend that. What do you want me to say to that?
Relationship with your children.
My God.
That's right. Ariel Atkins was traded to the Chicago Sky. And in return, we get to swap one of our picks for next year. But we got the 3rd overall pick for this year. And I said with the 3rd overall pick, we should go right in our own backyard. Cheyenne South at the University of Maryland College Park. Now, I think people, need to kind of be realistic on a couple of things. Now, I know Shy's been dealing with the knee injury past couple of weeks, but Shy, to me, has gotten better. I've seen her skill set improve. This year, she does have a little more help scoring the ball. Last year, she was criticized of not being a point guard, but at times I've seen this year where she's taken on that role. I think she is the energy she takes this team. This team goes as far as she goes. And you look at her numbers and they speak for it. I mean, making an all Big Ten team this year. Like in 15, I mean, just what she's done in her 4 years at College Park. I mean, her skill set at each year has gotten better. I think as a defender, especially knowing Mike has always preached defense. I think her development on defense could be some work, but I think she'd fit definitely for sure. It would be nice to look in your own backyard. I think she definitely can facilitate and create shots, especially in pick and roll, like a Shakira Austin, Steffi Dolson, and even Leah Edwards. So I would like to see that in the nation's capital this year with Washington Mystics. That's just my opinion. We also have the 4th overall pick, and I said that the Washington Mystics should take the rebounding queen of LSU, Anissa Morrow. Should have been at Maryland, but that's a different day. But no, in all seriousness, I would. Anissa has really continued to thrive, especially in the transition when Angel is now in the W, and her rebounding is just something. I like her here in Washington. Would nice to have a wing that can not only rebound, but I think gives you that true defender. Like, to me, she would definitely fit, to me, the Mystics. I think she would be the glue, especially now. Ariel gone, Brittany Sykes will more likely be your floor general. You've got a backcourt where you've got 2 defensive-minded guards and someone that can contribute right away. She brings some toughness. She brings a lot of that. That is something that will transition extremely well into the WNBA. That's just my personal opinion. With the 5th overall pick, the Golden State Valkyries, Kiki Arifin at USC. I think more likely she should I would be surprised if they keep her there at home. I considered putting Kiki with Washington, but to me, I think the first 2, just my opinion, I think would fit more. Really, the way Golden State's rosters is, they came up really, they didn't do a lot in free agency. So it's smart to build through the draft. Because you're starting off, you're an expansion team. You build your way up. And why not? I get some of the criticism on Kiki. I think some of it's I think some of it's coaching. I think some of it, transferring and having to play to behind Juju. But she's still effective. I think she has all the tools to be effective in the W. It's really interesting to see where she goes. I don't see her going no lower than 6, but no higher than 5. And I think she makes a good fit because, again, your own backyard. Now, I did consider Dominique Migliola from Fons in here, but we'll get a little bit into that in a little bit. And we have another pick. Mystics just have a boatload of picks. I love it. I still am going to roll with Ayoka Lee out of Kansas State. Now, I understand someone's going to say, what the hell are you talking about? Why would you take a player this high? I really, really think that they need a center. And to me, this is all, especially how I know she had the injury this year recently, and we're going to see how she looks going into tournament time. I think she can be definitely a rotational piece because, Steffi Dolce's getting older. And Washington, and then you have Sika Kone. I kind of want to see a little bit more size for the Mystics. That's just my opinion. And I think you could have something there with Shakira Austin, Leah Edwards, Yoka Lee, and then you have an Emily Inksler as well. I think the potential is all there. I just feel like she is someone who is a finisher at the rim. She's a lockdown defender. I think she has the footwork. She has all that, especially as a big. In Washington, really since Steffi came, when we drafted her back in 13, excuse me. Like, it's all right there. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I still think she's a first round pick, in my opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see where she goes. But I would prefer her as a Washington Mystic because I think they really need a center. And, again, if we're going to go this route of rebuilding, let's just start, let's get a true five in Nature's Capital play along Kira and Leah Edwards. 7, we're going to the Garden. We're going to New York. We're going to say the New York Liberty takes Sonia Citron out of Notre Dame. And I like this pick. Again, I consider Sonia for Washington. I even consider her even Seattle. I think Sonia is going to be a great player. I think she can be maybe your number 2, number 3 option. But last year you could see Olivia's injury, that Sonia's numbers between this year, if taken a hit, because obviously with Olivia there, you're kind of now like the 3rd option. So, I think she is a good scorer. I think she adds depth. I think she can space the floor. I think she has the defense. I think she can do all those things. And I think really my only question for her is her role as she transitions. But I think she'll be a great guard for New York. And I think, to me, New York definitely needs some scoring. I think they can definitely use a little bit more defense. They can use someone, a facilitator of the ball. You're going to learn from Sabrina Ionescu. It wouldn't hurt. I like this for them. So, and you're going to be on a team of champions. So I like this pick for the New York Liberty. We're going to take a break as we're getting ready for 8 through 12. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We're back. Number 8. It's going to be a new era in Connecticut. As it's going to be a different. It's different now. This looks weird, but this is now officially Marina Mabry's team for now. And again, we'll talk more about that in the free agency episode. But I said that the Connecticut Sun should take Dominique. She would, especially with the head coach coming from Belgium. I think it's going to be a team that's definitely going to be kind of building. He's going to be building with the team, and they're going to be building with him. And I think, Dominique is, from what I've seen, I think she has talent. She can definitely give some lineups mismatches, and she can be a nightmare at times. She definitely put, on the French national team. So again, this would be more than likely, you draft and stash. Even though I'm not a fan of that, but I mean, she's only 18. So, I mean, I could see a player like this because they drafted last year. I want to say she was from France too. Same thing, draft and stash. So I could see this happening again. Number 9, I think she's going to go back home, and I think she would be a good fit for the Sparks, and that's Tahina Paopao. And for me, why I picked Paopao to go to the Sparks is a couple things. They need. It's going to be interesting to see how the guards look. I mean, this year South Carolina, she's more of an off guard. I think more likely she could be a point guard in the W, but it's going to be interesting to see how she'll work in that system. I mean, I think she's a shooter, and she's proven that even when she was at Oregon. So I like Paopao there. She will get better as a defender. I mean, she is a defender, and she can create her shot not only for herself but for her teammates. I mean, I like that for Los Angeles. And again, Lexi Brown's now in Seattle. Kelsey Plum is now Los Angeles Sparks. They need a point guard because I love Kelsey, but sometimes Kelsey Plum can do Kelsey Plum things with the basketball, and that can be something. And Lynn Roberts, knowing her from college, she wants her team to shoot the 3, and that is Tahina's, I think, best weapon. And even though, okay, her shooting under 40% from 3, that does not take away how she still could shoot the ball. She's experienced, and I think she will that'll get better when she transitions to the W. I have no concerns. This year, it happens, but this will be a good pick for the Sparks. Number 10, the Chicago Sky. I said they would take Sanaya Rivers out of NC State. And I like Sanaya Rivers here because of a couple things. I think Sanaya is having a great year at NC State. I actually considered her for Connecticut. It'll be interesting to kind of see where she will go a little bit. I definitely think they need I think first and foremost, there has to be patience a little bit with her. I think Coach Marsh will Coach Marsh will develop her well. I think, to me, I think Sanaya is athletic. I think she can, especially on the wing. I think that's enough to overlook her offensive prowess as it's developing. So, I mean, I think from last time, remember, she was almost averaging almost close to over 12 points a game. So, I mean, you see it, the potential, it's there for on the offensive side, but her defense, I think, is extremely underrated. I think it needs to be more uplifted. I think she could definitely do some things, especially with Camilla and Angel. That those 3 could actually be a good tandem on the defensive side of the ball. But again, you just need to gotta be patient with her as she develops, and on the offensive side of the ball. But she will definitely get opportunities to play right away in that system. Number 11, I said the Minnesota Lynx should take Maddie Westbeld. And okay, I know some people are going to yell at me and say, "Are you crazy?" I still think that ever since Sil Fowles retired, I don't think we've really emphasized there needs to be a 5 next to Fee, and at this point, it's just like, forget it. Same thing. She has the size, she can rebound, and if you had to push back on it, I would say I consider Sedona Prince, but because of some of the stuff off the court at TCU, that is a high pass. I also consider Georgia Amore here, but I like Maddie here for the Minnesota Lynx. And then with the 12th overall pick, the Dallas Wings should take Aisha James out of none other than NC State. I think it'd be a late first round steal. I think she's arguably one of the best guards in the league. In the league, I think she's a good finisher at the rim. I think she's a level 2 scorer. I think she brings a lot of energy. I think that's something that the Wings would appreciate for sure. I think playing alongside Arika, I think that would definitely give you something to really appreciate coming off the bench. Now, I actually consider her with going to Los Angeles because especially them not having wing players, but I feel like Tahina would be a better, more fit in LA than in my opinion. Now, I also considered Michaela Thompson out of Florida State as well on my notes, but I like Aisha James here for the Dallas Wings. And that's my 3.0 mock draft for the 2025 class. Now, again, this is just a mock draft. Things can change. We've already seen how free agency can really, really change a lot for some franchises. And painfully, like Washington just had the 4th and 6th overall pick. Now you got the 3rd, 4th, and 6th pick. So personally, I can see Anissa Morrow being something just tells me she's definitely going to be a high pick. We really got to pay attention to see what Paige Olivia going to do. I know Paige, I think, may have another year left of eligibility. I know AZ Fudd was on my notes as well. I know she's still kind of figuring out what she wants to do. I know there's a couple players that still have a year or so left eligibility because, again, of either injury or they have the COVID year. But someone like Shai Sellers, who came in 21, this is their last year. So I think Tahina, might have another year, I want to say. Raven Johnson, I considered her as well. She's an honorable mention for sure. But again, just another mock draft. These things can change. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into one final thought.
Thoughts are running through my mind, so I took some time to find a minute or two to organize.
All right, the one final thought for me is I apologize for the last over a month with Maryland basketball, covering them. It's been something. We'll talk about that in 436. But please consider liking, comment, and subscribing. And please let me know your thoughts on this mock draft, which I think. Where do you see your team drafting? Who are you looking to root for this year coming out of school? But I think that this draft class, I definitely think, can contribute. This is not 2021 draft class. No shade. But I think the conversations I saw on social media were kind of comparing this class to that, and they're in no way two totally different draft classes. And I think that this group of young women can definitely contribute right away for these 13 teams as we get ready for the 2025 WNBA season. But there'll be one more WNBA mock draft before the actual draft itself. We got the WNBA free agency grades coming up this Thursday with a special guest, and NFL Mock Draft 1.0 this upcoming. We'll have that recorded Friday at best. And I will get more details in terms of Selection Sunday. We'll talk about that. But please like, comment, and subscribe for our official content. And this is your host, Nathan Snell signing out. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for all the new followers, subscribers on the YouTube channel as well. And we're also still catching up on the Spotify, Apple Music. That's where you can also follow and listen to the podcast when you're driving. You can listen on Spotify, all those different things like that. But we're out of here, folks. Peace. Stay out.
I know that loving me wasn't always easy. And you felt like walking away when you couldn't see me. Felt like all your hope was gone. But I'm right here on bended knee. Please be my wife and stay with me. Please take my hand through stormy weather. We will stay, yeah. Let me be the one you. When you need me, I'll be there. Just to let you know that I really, 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 really do care, yeah, yeah. Baby, I'm promise. Baby, I promise. Right here for you. No matter the problem. No matter the problem, baby. I'll be here by your side. 'Cause the love we share can never be denied. Denied.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
And I wanna thank you. All I wanna do is say thank you.